Hi everyone, it's Lynnea for LDRS Creative, and today I am playing with the Tutti Fruiti Impression Letterpress dies. These Impression Letterpress dies have three different adorable, cute, fresh fruits. There are cherries, strawberries, and lemons, so I'm going to create a quick trio of mini cards so that I can use each one of these images. Now, just a reminder, just like I say in all of my impression letterpress tutorial videos, these dies require a special platform. You do not want to put these impression letterpress dies through your die cutting machine with your regular cutting plates. You will damage your plates and most likely your machine as well. These impression letterpress dies do have outline dies, which you can see up at the top of my screen right now, and those are your traditional wafer thin dies. Those can be used in your regular die cutting machine with your traditional plates, but as you feel and hold these letterpress dies in your hand, you'll see that these are much thicker than those wafer thin dies. So I'm using my BetterPress Letterpress platform, and I'm going to press these images into a piece of cardstock. Now usually I would use watercolor cardstock from LDRS Creative because watercolor cardstock is a cotton fibrous cardstock. Those cotton fibers push and pull apart, giving you a really fabulous impression with these dies. But I want to color with Copic markers, and Copic markers do not mix well with watercolor cardstock for the same reason that the letterpress dies work really well. Because those fibers can be pushed and pulled apart, they're going to soak up that ink and it's going to bleed. So instead, I am actually using heavyweight Neenah cardstock, and you can see here that I still get a gorgeous impression. I just had to add an extra shim to my BetterPress platform. I also impressed some sentiments, and those are from the Love and Friendship Sentiment Impression Letterpress dies, and I did use watercolor cardstock for those since I'm not going to be doing any coloring, and I wanted to get a really nice impression there. I'm going to go ahead and line up these Tutti Fruiti outline wafer dies. Now you do want to get your head right over top of these dies. The cutting line cuts quite close to the image, so you want to make sure that you are looking straight down on that image. Tape that die in place really well so it doesn't shift in your die cutting machine, and then I'm going to run those through with my regular plates. I am also going to cut out those dies with the coordinating dies for the Love and Friendship Sentiment Impression Letterpress dies. Alright, so here we go. Here's some quick Copic coloring. Just like usual, I don't do a whole lot of fancy schmancy coloring. I like to keep it simple and add just a few colors for shading. I prefer to color dark to light. I find that that gives me a lot of depth and dimension, so as I color, I usually do 2 to 3 markers for each color blend, and I'm going to start with my darkest and then blend it out. So here you can see I started with that YG17, which is my darker, and this is YG23, which is my lightest. And I'll just go over that image, and you can see how that darkest part is still able to be seen, but it's not super in your face. That's how I prefer to color, but there are so many different coloring techniques, and there is no wrong way to make art. So however you learn to color and however you prefer to color, that is always how I will encourage you to color your images. I'm going to keep going here with some browns, color in that stem, and then I will switch over to my yellows for the lemon. One of the things that I love about this lemon image in particular are these little dots. I love when there's little dot shading lines. It just makes it easy for me to know where to add my color. So usually wherever those dots are, that's where your darkest shadow part is going to be. So I have my Y19, which is going to be my darkest yellow, and then I'm going to come in with Y08, which is my lighter one. This one's a really bright, happy yellow, one of my favorites. And I will blend that out and come almost to the edge. Then I'm going to come in with Y06. Because this is a larger image, that's why I'm using 3 markers for this color blend, but you could get away with just doing the 2 if you wanted to. So there's my finished colored lemon. I'm going to set this aside, and I colored the strawberries and the cherries off camera, so those are all colored and ready to go. So now let's work on the mini cards. I use the mini slimline basket weave pocket die set, and I cut both of these dies together. So I laid them together, kind of inlaid them, and then taped them together, ran them through with some white cardstock, and that's what gives me that basket weave design. Then I took out that inner die and just cut the outer die from black cardstock so that I could have a nice background that's really going to make those bright fruits pop. I love creating backgrounds that are black and white and adding a splash of color with whatever image you're adding. My card bases are 5.5 inches by 3.5 inches, so just a little bit bigger than that die. I'm going to layer everything together. I use glue to adhere those basket weave frames onto the backer, and then foam tape to pop up my images and my sentiments, and just like that, I have this cute trio of cards. This would make a great gift for a friend or family member for the holidays. These would even make amazing teacher gifts, or you can use them to send to your friends to send a quick and happy hello. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'll see you again really soon. Bye!